Hey guys, so these next two videos, I'm going to break this video up into two parts, I think. And I just wanted to put a disclaimer on them. I should probably put a disclaimer on all my videos, to be honest, because they're super depressing, but I talk about stuff that's depressing. And so if you're depressed, I don't really offer any solutions or anything, so I'm just worried if someone who is depressed watches it, they might make them feel worse. I don't ever want that to happen. So if you are depressed and at the end of this video you feel more depressed, I mean, you know what to do. Everybody's told you a million times. You gotta tell somebody, anybody, a parent, someone at school, someone you work with, especially if you're younger. And I know how hard that is to do because it was hard for me to do. The only thing I could say is try that. And if you don't know how to, I will try to help you as best as I can. You can comment in this video. Go ahead, I'll give you a second. Just say, if that's you've tried to talk to somebody and you can't, or you can't find anybody to talk to, just say right now, just type in, ready, that's me. Just type it in the bottom. Click send. No big deal. So there, you did it. I just wanted to give you, because I know sometimes you think, well, what am I supposed to say, and how am I don't know this person, but I'm giving you permission, and I'm telling you what to say. Just say that's me. Because I don't want to say the same thing everybody says. It's like, oh, talk to somebody, and because sometimes I don't know, you don't know what to do, and I don't know how I'm gonna help, but I have a therapist. I can ask her for advice. I'll put the normal links in the bottom, the suicide hotline or whatever, but you know those, and so just if you're thinking bad thoughts, before you do anything at all, you have to say them out loud. You have to another person, or even just start to yourself, like what I did with my audio journal. Can you see I'm holding weird? Okay. Okay, I guess that's good enough. What you're about to see is actually a little Twilight Zone intro I did, which is, it's bad. So just indulge the person you're about to see. He's trying his best. He's having fun. He never gets to have fun, so just let him have his little Rod Serling impression, and it's bad. But I had fun doing it. And enjoy the video, and if you want to talk about anything, or all you have to do is just say, it's me, if you're having trouble. And then I can even make it private somehow, I think. Or I'll put my Twitter thing below, and you can message me on Twitter. But I thought I should say that. I don't know. Maybe it's no big deal, but yeah, I hope the video helps anybody, even if it helps one person, and that's a blah blah blah. You know it. So, thanks. Portrait of a boy who wants to be a man. Mired in the trench between adulthood and adolescence, he struggles, searching for a light of hope, but all he sees is the vast, unending darkness of space. We join our hero now at the awakening of his unconscious mind, to the thought that there must be something more than the fleeting material comforts of life. Food, shelter, entertainment no longer offer a proper distraction from a gnawing question inside. What is a man's purpose? With a quarter of his life already come and gone, we follow him now on his increasingly desperate quest for purpose and an answer to the great questions of time, answers which perhaps can only be found in the Twilight Zone. I'm not sure if this therapy thing will help me. She asked me this week, do you think you would enjoy talking to people if you didn't have anxiety? Or do you think that you just don't like talking to people? And I don't know the answer to that question. But I'm afraid it's the former. Which one did I say first? I don't remember. I'm afraid it's that I just don't like talking to people because I can't. How can anybody be happy if they don't like talking to people? That's the scariest thing, I think. That is the thing that scares me the most. Because I've never really been happy. But I've been able to get through my life because I haven't had to examine it. I could just coast through. I didn't have to ever struggle with anything. School was fine. It was never hard. It was never stressful. The only thing that ever has caused me anxiety has been just other people. I'm just not feeling great. And I think that this always used to happen to me. There were just days where I just felt bad. But when I look back on my life, I don't ever remember those days too much. Like just normal sad days where I don't feel great. I remember the worst days, but I didn't have too many of those, and they weren't even that bad. I guess that's what depression is. Worrying that you'll never be happy. There's no path to happiness for me. I don't see it because any path to happiness involves interacting with other people, and I've never been happy interacting with other people before. So, how could I ever be happy? And then the parts where I get the most I guess I can say suicidal. I'm not suicidal right now, but I have had thoughts about it. The times when I have those thoughts are when the depression starts to infect happiness and say, yeah, you can have a thought where you think, I'm depressed right now, but maybe in the future I could be happy. And then this devil on your shoulder will say, what does it even mean to be happy? Is it even worth, what does happiness even mean? Is it even mean anything? And I guess that's where the purpose thing comes in. I don't know, maybe not. What is it? What is even happiness? Is it it's just chemicals in your brain that release when someone says you did a good job? So what does that even mean? Doesn't mean anything. So you think, what's the point of doing anything if the goal is happiness and happiness doesn't mean anything? What else could the goal be? The goal would be to help other people, to make other people happy. But if happiness doesn't mean anything, then what's the point of making other people happy? I feel a little bit worried, I guess, about posting this video because all my videos are a little bit depressing and I don't really have anything to balance it out, like a happy video. I guess I thought it would be valuable a little bit to talk about this because, like, I am a man and mans don't talk about their emotions. I guess I don't really feel like I am a man. I feel like I'm a kid still. And kids talk about their emotions all the time. They complain and they're, oh, I'm so sad or I'm so happy. So that's sometimes why I feel like it's not as valuable for me to talk about this stuff, because I'm like, I still feel like a kid just complaining about my kid stuff. I just want to know what to do, who I'm supposed to be. And I don't know. Why are we doing this? Why is anybody doing anything? I don't know. I guess I'll try to sum up my question. Sum up the video with a question. Why is anybody doing anything? Why do we do anything? I don't know. You work hard to support your family. You try to be a good person. What is the purpose? Maybe your purpose is to support your family. And then I think about other people's purpose. Sometimes they talk about religion and to love God, I guess. And we're here. It's so cliche. This stupid video is so cliche. I hate this video. Why am I making this video? I don't know. So like it's part of it is I've never had any experience doing things, so sometimes I never get too worried about that, because I think it's kind of like, oh, I don't know what I'm missing. So, but at a certain point you do look back and think you must be missing something because there's nothing there. If you don't have any friends and you don't ever do anything, over time you look back and think there's just nothing there. And maybe if I had a bunch of friends and did everything on Fridays and had parties and stuff, I mean, I would have hated that, I know. And maybe I would look back now and think I wish I hadn't done those things. But it's not just party stuff, it's anything. I mean, if I had spent my Friday nights giving out food at a charity, or I don't know, doing anything, going to the gym, just doing anything. And it's scary to see it all slipping away. I remember I watched this movie a while ago on Netflix. It was called like the best worst movie. It was a documentary about the movie Troll 2, which was like a terrible movie from the 80s, and the documentary was about interviewing all the people involved with the movie. And they interviewed this old guy who played probably like the dad or something in the movie. They interviewed him, and he was never married. He lived by himself, and I could see myself in him. He said something that I still remember. He said, they asked him a question. Somehow he got on the topic of like his life, and he said, yes, I guess I've just frittered my life away. Or he said something like, I remember him using the word fritter. was like, oh, that's a fun word. And then he said, but I guess, well, what else is there to do with a life than to have it fritter away? And I thought, that's going to be me. I'm going to be saying something like that. And I think the reason why I see becoming that person is because I don't know what the alternative is. It's to have a family. Would that make me happy? It's possible, but it's possible that it wouldn't, and then I wouldn't know until I had it. So it's kind of scary, because once you get into that situation, you can't really get out of it. It's kind of impossible to know what it's like to have a family until you have one, right? But I think, well, right now, I'm not very happy, so that's not a good thought to have. So let's try to do that. That's not a good idea. You should want to create a family from your own joy of your own life and want to share it with someone else, right? And give them part of your joy. And spread joy to the world that way. And not suck joy off other people. Give me some of that joy. I need it. For my own purposes. You just become a joy vampire. Let's have 1,000 kids so I can suck the joy out of them. That's not... now that I say that, I think you should probably have to be a happy person first before you want to do that. How do you just generate joy from nothing? It seems like a law of nature or something. You can't create joy from nothingness. But how do you get joy? How do you get happiness? It's purpose. It's knowing, it's having purpose and knowing your purpose. That's where happiness comes from, right? And I don't know how I'll ever get purpose. I don't know where it's ever going to come from. I'm never going to be good at a job because every job involves talking to people and interacting with people. And I'm not a genius, so... The best I feel like I can hope for in a job is to just go to work every day and just do some paperwork and then come home and not be stressed out. That's the best I can hope for. I'm not going to get purpose from a job. So cross that off the list. What's next? I'm religious. I get my purpose from God. What does that mean? I'll pray right now. Dear God, let me know what my purpose is. Help me to see what my purpose is. I've prayed that prayer before. And I don't see it. Tell me what to do. I know it doesn't work that way. Nobody's going to knock on your door and say, this is what you should do with your life. Even if that person did, I'd say, who are you? Get out of here. I don't trust you. I don't want to end in just being depressing all the time. Because I know this video it's possible it could reach anybody. I know it's not gonna, it's probably not a lot of people are gonna watch it, but it's very possible that someone who maybe even is depressed watches it and it makes them feel more depressed. I want to have some kind of a message for that person. I guess I'm imagining myself watching this, maybe when I was younger. what would I say to that person? I guess I would say, just hold on for a little bit longer. It might not get better. You might never know what you're supposed to do. But maybe just worry about that tomorrow. And today you can just watch TV. I think that's as hopeful as I can get today. I don't know if this video is helpful to post, or I don't know if I even should. I guess I didn't say anything too crazy depressing. But it would kind of be my worst nightmare for someone to see this and to feel worse after seeing it. Any of my videos, really. I don't know. Sometimes when I record videos like this, I imagine someone watching it and thinking, come on, what's the big deal? That's kind of the point. What is the big deal? That's the whole point of this video. What is the big deal with anything? What is the big deal? What's the big deal? Just go to work and come home and go out and do stuff and you'll be fine. That's just what life is. But I don't know. I guess part of it does feel like I'm being kind of selfish, or like I'm asking for too much. Like, you're so comfortable in your life and now you want purpose? You should be so lucky to have a purpose in your life. Is that true? Is that something everybody else realizes and something I don't get? Is that there is no purpose, but we still just do what we do because that's what we do. I think I'm going to try to keep doing these vlog things once a week, because I am able to be a little bit more focused during them. Even though today didn't go great, I don't think. But I'd like to make the same promise that I make at the end of all my videos. That I'll see you tomorrow. Smiles. Look at that tooth. That's a snaggle tooth. I don't know. Should I be doing more of an impression? Third cover. With a quarter of his life already come and gone. See, that's with a quarter of his life. What are you doing? Why are you saying it like that? With a quarter of his life already come and gone. Can't. Portrait of... Why is my breathing weird? Just breathe like a normal person. Searching for a light of hope, but all he sees... God, I did have it once. I did get it one time. We follow him now on his increasingly desperate quest for meaning, in answers to the great question of in answers to the great questions of time, answers which perhaps can only be found in the Twilight Zone. We follow him now on his... We follow him now on his increasingly desperate quest for meaning and answers to the great questions of time. Answers which perhaps can only be found in the Twilight Zone. Did it take Rod Serling 50 takes to get it right? Mired in the trench between adulthood and adolescence, he struggles, searching for a light of hope. Beep, beep. That was the one. That was the perfect one. I've been here over a year, and I have never once seen the guy who lives directly below me. Not once. So why do I care if he can hear what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. Doody, 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 doody. Or if I just put doody, doody. Doody, doody. Boom, boom, boom. But like the swirl is like an eye, kind of. The eye of time. Boom, boom, boom. To the thought that there must be something more to life. Something more than the fleeting material comforts of life. Found in the Twilight Zone. Beep, 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 boom, 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 boom. I wrote this in a half an hour, okay? It's not that bad for half an hour. Or I could just walk into frame like this. Portrait of a boy who wants to be a man. Portrait of a boy who wants to be a man. Portrait of a boy who wants to be a man. A doody doo doo doody doo doo. Boom 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 boom. Okay. Questions of life. Questions which perhaps can oh, I would have messed that up anyway. Which perhaps can only be found in the Twilight Zone of time. Answers which perhaps can only be found in the Twilight Zone. Doody 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 doody.